your games, pass the time. Here's what to keep in mind. What you're seeing is really real, and it truly is a big deal.
Hello everyone, welcome to Googli Talks. Is it all just a game? The world versus gaming, where we talk about if video games are real in real life, what would the environment look like, and what would the environmental impacts be? And since we've hit 10 episodes, I kind of wanted to do a reflection on how our podcast is going, what direction we want to go, and what do we want our next season to be. First of all, I do apologize. I'm recording on my webcam. I'm using my mic, so it's not the best quality. And of course, my beautiful face. You're gonna look at it this time. This is one time where you could actually stare at me, and we can just talk. And even in that retrospect, I'm gonna take these off. I don't need them, and I'm also gonna put my hair down because I just feel more comfortable that way. Also, pardon the rain in the background. It is raining up a storm right now. So, okay. Is everyone relaxed? Does everyone have a bevy? Can we just talk? Cool. Glad. Well, let's begin. So, a reflection on our first season. I believe our first video was Call of Duty, where we looked at Nuketown specifically. And nuclear things are one of the coolest things to me. It's one of the most fun things I could ever research. And I was so terrified to post this podcast. It was nerve-wracking because I'm in a new realm I never thought I would be in. It's about a really popular game, which is just I knew it would be seen, and I didn't know how to deal with it exactly. But I do have to say that thumbnail is my favorite thumbnail of the whole season. Then as we continue, I believe the couple other episodes were The Sims and Mario Kart, and I do have to be honest, I felt really uninspired. I didn't feel like that was the content I really wanted to make, because maybe it's because I felt like it was such a simple concept, or it was too in real life, where it can be applied too easily, that my heart was not fully in it, and I do apologize for that. And they didn't perform as well as I thought they would, because they are mainstream games. They are in my top 10. They are in the top 5 of most listened to, but it's just like, I wish I really did make something better. Next, we went into MMO territory, which was, again, I was so terrified to do. We started with Old School RuneScape, and we went into Star Wars: The Old Republic, where we finally started introducing guests, which I guess would be right here was our first guest, where Gecko came on and decided to start talking about his favorite game and the knowledge that people have about the video game industry, the passion that they have, and how they know the concept of what would have happened in real life, and they could help me apply that concept to other people. And it just brought this podcast, I want to say, to a whole new level that I never thought I could do. And I was astonished, quite frankly, when we started bringing guests on this podcast, of how much this podcast has improved. Then, of course, we went into Minecraft, where we had another guest, Nano Pierogi. There it is. Hi, Natalie. Where she talked about Minecraft and material science, and it was also a super dope conversation where we spent literally an hour talking about so many different forms of sustainability, so many different real life situations, and I honestly just can't believe, like, how fun it is to talk to other people about this topic that is so niche that I never thought people would pay attention to, but yet we're talking, we're listening, we're learning, and we're making a difference. Then, of course, I had to go into my homage of Overwatch, of where I started beginning on my PC gaming career, and I had to talk about Overwatch and if it was real life. And that one hit really home to me because I did talk about May, the environmental scientist. And for those who do not know, that is my career. I put it in the description of every single video just so you know that I have some value to what I am talking about. I am credible to the resource, and I try and do the research to the fullest extent. I do take time. I do read scientific articles. I read opinion pieces just to see and give the full picture of what is going on. Especially when it comes to the video game industry, where that is constantly being opinionated and science is constantly being updated. So it's really cool for me to have this opportunity, especially in my free time, to go into this research of seeing both sides of the situation, social versus scientific, and how they collide. And it's just nerdy but really fun. And I did want to give a highlight point to the next podcast that we did after Overwatch, which was Dead by Daylight. And I got to talk about more serious topics that I never thought video games could address, of dealing with death and grieving and what happens to us after that. And I know that's a hard conversation to have, but I'm glad that I had this platform where I could use it and I can have that hard conversation with you. And we can really see all of our options but still pay it with respect. And it's not that sometimes video games don't give to people's lives. So it was nice to have that 30-minute conversation of where we can like have a moment of silence that we can process and think and really understand what is going to happen to us and what do video games show us versus what is the real life alternative. Which brings us to our last podcast of the season, and we talked about Sea of Thieves. And we got to find another guest on the podcast, Crash Cast, a dear friend of mine that I actually finally got to visit in real life. It was super cool. I love internet friends, especially when they come real friends, and her picture will be illustrated here. And we got to talk about pirates and what childhood dreams came and how they equivalent into video games, and then how the comparison of real life and what happens in the environment then. And I gotta say that's my top three. My top three podcasts of the season are literally all the ones with guests. They've just really lit a spark into me, and I really couldn't this season would not exist without this community, and I really do want to thank you. Now I guess we could talk about where do we want to go from here, right? So of course, I would like to continue about looking at video games and how they would equivalent in real life, but I kind of also want to mix in at some point ways that people can be environmentally conscious in real life, and if there's really a mixing of what sustainability is showing in video games. And maybe that's too specific, but I really don't want this series and this concept to die. And I want to connect with more people and have them on my podcast and really talk about it, whether it just be like, how did you get into gaming? How was it exposed to you? Like, how do you choose video games? Things like that. Like, I want to have those discussions to really get the full picture of how video games affect us and how is it going to affect us in the future. I would also love to see suggestions. I would love to see, what game do you want to listen to? What game do you want me to see or play that I could actually really talk about and figure out maybe a new spin that you never really have thought of regarding the game. I honestly love suggestions. I appreciate the support in the comments, especially new friends that have found this podcast, and you've got me into games that I never thought I would ever play. So thank you for that. I truly think that this podcast has a lot of promise. I feel like that this information is not going to go unwanted. I feel like that this is truly a future of gaming that we need to look at. And we are. And all of you are a part of it, of seeing it if that makes sense. You're learning with me, and we're all learning, and now we get to go teach other people about it. So I know this isn't a full podcast. It's not even going to be, I want to say, half the amount that it has been. But I want to thank you and pull up thank yous that who have been on my podcast has put themselves out there into a realm that they never thought they would be in. I want to thank you for giving me the confidence to use my voice, to even be on camera right now, talking to you, whereas all my podcast episodes have been off cam. I want to thank you for getting me into a new hobby that I never thought I would. Video editing, podcasting, learning how to socially interact and be noticed, like knowing how to communicate properly to someone with a topic that may be difficult. Those are all new things I never thought I could do, but this podcast and you have given me the opportunity to do so. I have a lot of hope for season 2, and if anyone has any ideas or what another topic that they want to know about, please, by all means, do not be afraid to share them. And if you want to talk about it, but just not on the platform of YouTube or Spotify or wherever you choose to listen to this, by all means, come to my Twitch, come to my community and say, hey, I want to know about this. I love this game, or I want to talk about this. Can I have that chance? And we can have that discussion. I am not afraid to do that. So this is just, it's wild to me that I'm even making this video. Thank you. Quite honestly, thank you for these last 2.5 or so months. That has scheduled me at least 7 hours a week to talk about nerdy shit, and to really be able to merge my two passions together. And I quite honestly hope this continues for a while and to see where this goes. And sponsorships, maybe, I don't know. Reaching 100 subs, that would be cool, so we can get our official URL. But who knows? We'll see where the world takes us, and I'm glad to have you on this journey with me. So alas, of course, you will be seeing this on the Sunday that I drop it in the morning for my Eastern time zoners. But next week, we hope to see something a little bit different. It's the start of season 2, and I'm excited. I feel very creative. I feel inspired, and I hope that you'll like it as well. And I hope that you'll see that creative energy flow through me, and I hope you enjoy what is going to come. So thank you for sticking around. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for sharing, liking, subscribing, listening, putting it on the back burner, anything really, encouragement. I will see you next week. I feel like we didn't leave on the right note, so hi. It's me again. Googli talked, and we talked about video games versus the environment and what they would look like in real world, even if it wasn't the most normal thing that we have done on this channel. Thank you so much. Please take care of yourself, drink some water, get some noms, go to bed, wake up, get your day started, take your meds, do the thing. You got this. I believe in you, and sometimes you just need to be told that. And I will see you next week. Have a good day, guys.
With your games, pass the time. Here's what to keep in mind. What you're seeing is really real.